Have you ever met someone and instantly forgotten their name? 1 second you're laughing together, the next you're standing there like, hey, you. Don't worry, your brain isn't broken. Forgetting names is actually perfectly normal. In fact, it's kind of brilliant. Well, sort of. Hi, I'm El Hassan, and today we're going to talk about why your brain seems to love making you forget people's names. Here's the thing. Names are weird. They don't tell your brain anything. Unlike words like dog, pizza, or mountain, names are basically arbitrary labels. Bob doesn't bark. Sarah won't remind you of chocolate. Names have no inherent meaning, and your brain loves meaning. It's a system optimized to remember things that help you survive. Who's dangerous, what's edible, where to find water, not who's named Todd. Your brain is a master organizer. It remembers things by creating connections. The person's face, the sound of their laugh, that ridiculously loud neon jacket, or that quirky handshake. These details stick in your memory because they're informative and distinctive. But a name? That's just a floating label with no story, no survival value. So when you try to recall it, your brain shrugs and says, nah, not important. And it gets even weirder. Sometimes you know a person's name, but when you need it, it vanishes. This is called the tip of the tongue phenomenon. Your brain is like, I know something about this person. I even know letters in their name, but the full thing? Sorry, not today. Researchers think this happens because our memory networks are not just about storage, they're about retrieval. Names are stored in a different part of the brain than the descriptive info you remember, which is why the face and the name don't always connect smoothly. Then there's another brain quirk, attention. Often when you meet someone, you're distracted, thinking about the conversation, scanning the room, wondering if you left the stove on. Your brain can only pay attention to so many things at once. Names, being arbitrary labels, often don't get the spotlight. This is called shallow encoding. Without focusing on the name the moment you hear it, your memory doesn't create a strong file to retrieve later. And let's not forget social pressure. Picture this. You meet someone new, you're excited, maybe a little nervous, and you definitely don't want to seem rude. The stress actually makes it harder for your brain to encode their name. Ironically, trying too hard to remember a name can backfire, turning your memory into a battlefield of failed neurons. So, how do we hack our brains? First, repetition works wonders. When you meet someone, repeat their name out loud. Nice to meet you, Sarah. That reinforces the connection between the face and the label. Second, association is your friend. Link the name to something visual or quirky, like Bob with the beard or Sarah who loves sushi. Suddenly, your brain has a hook. Third, try visualization. Imagine the name written across their forehead like a mental sticky note. Sounds silly, but it works. Interestingly, research shows that the way we process names is influenced by culture and age. Children, for instance, tend to remember names better than adults in social settings because their brains are more attuned to social labeling, a survival mechanism in early human communities. And here's a fun paradox. Your brain hates forgetting names, even though it does it all the time. The panic you feel when someone asks for a name and it's gone, that's your brain sounding an alarm. We should have remembered this. It's socially important. But social importance doesn't always translate to survival value, so your memory didn't prioritize it in the first place. In the end, forgetting names is a mix of biology, attention, and pure chaos. It's a quirk of evolution. Your brain is brilliant at remembering things that matter for survival, but terrible at remembering things that don't. So next time you blank on someone's name, don't feel guilty. Your brain isn't rude, it's just practical. And honestly, it's a good excuse to say something like, hey, remind me of your name again, with confidence. Or make a joke about the neon jacket. Either way, you'll probably get a laugh, and that memory might stick better next time.